There we go. Got that little jerkbait fish. That's right, baby. Come to the boat. What's up, homies? Game Montgomery here, 10 Horse Money YouTube channel, and we're going fishing. That's what we do on our day off, and it is our day off. It's windy out here. Got nice air temps, 52, 53 degrees. We got some storms moving in this afternoon. You know, I haven't got to fish without it being raining. I think the last 3 trips it's been raining. So naturally, this afternoon we're gonna have some rain. We're gonna keep that streak alive. But I'm out here pre-fishing for a tournament. Got the last tournament of the winter series over here on Cedar Lake. And I don't fish a lot of tournaments, but I do like to jump in one here and there. Just, it's a lot of fun. I like a little competition every once in a while. What we're doing today is we're gonna go out and try to figure out what is going on out on this lake, what the fish are doing. We've had some pretty decent weather the last couple days. We've had, yesterday got up to 60 and some sun. So for the middle of December, that's pretty nice weather. It's gonna get cold next week. We got this front pushing through. Got rain coming in tonight, tomorrow morning. We got rain, so the tournament is tomorrow morning. So we're gonna have rain through the first part of the day, and the temperatures are gonna kind of slowly drop. And the next 3, 4, 5 days, we're gonna get some like low 20s in the morning. So there's definitely a push of cold air coming down. But I'm gonna take you guys out on the lake. I'm gonna just kind of break down what I'm looking for when I pre-fish for a tournament, and as the day develops, I'll kind of talk to you what I think is working, maybe what my game plan is. Hopefully I can find some fish. A little bit of strategy into these tournaments over here, because we've got that 14, 18-inch slot limit. So you're looking for 14-inch fish, and you're looking for over 18-inch fish. So you're almost fishing 2 kind of tournaments. But I'll do a little video and talk about my mindset on how I think that works. I've kind of been working on that the last couple of years. It's different. It's different than, say, a straight 15-inch length limit where you're just trying to catch fish over 15 or 16. That slot limit's a little bit tricky. You catch a lot of nice fish in that slot that don't help you. But anyway, we're gonna get out there on the water. I don't have a lot of time before this rain kicks in, and I want to be able to move around. So let's get after it. Hey, if you have not subscribed, please do hit the little bell notification. Leave me some comments. Appreciate the comments. It helps the channel grow. Here we go. All right, guys, just got out on the lake, and I'm gonna have to be disciplined today. Like I said, I'm pre-fishing. The last time we fished a tournament here, we were catching some fish in brush piles. So my goal today is to kind of scan around and find some more brush piles. I've got several already, but I'm gonna try to find some new stuff. And that's kind of what I'm doing today. I'm just idling down the side of this point. See here, and I've got a couple brush piles marked already. These are little subtle pieces of brush. We're just kind of idling around, looking in high percentage areas to see if we can find some brush. We're going to put a little waypoint on them. Got a little channel right there, and that right there is something I'm going to put a waypoint on. Got this little ditch. There's some fish sitting right in this little ditch here. You can see them right there. And you see how that kind of breaks right there? That's kind of an area that definitely will hold fish in the wintertime. It's a little subtle thing. It's not real obvious. It's definitely not on your map. These are kind of things you gotta idle around and look for. It takes time, but it's well worth it. Okay, here we go. Here's a little piece of brush right here. Got some fish right here off of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop a waypoint on it. It's right here. Now probably what I do is I like to side scan something, and then I go back over it with my down scan. Like I'll side scan, drop a waypoint, go back over it with my down scan and get it real accurate. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this waypoint here. Ooh, that's a good bite. All right, found 2 more pieces of cover right here. I've got this one marked, and I've got my crosshair set up on this one. You can see it on the side scan. I'm gonna go ahead and drop another waypoint on that. And I'm gonna use this, and we're good. So I've got about 3 or 4 little pieces of cover on this point. So this is gonna be an area. I'm trying to find, you know, if you can get 15, 20 brush piles and you can just run a little milk run to that, that's a good strategy. And you'll know, you know, after a couple hours if it's gonna work or not. You can, you know, spend about 15 minutes on each one, and they're not all gonna have fish in them. But if you have enough of them, you can pick up some bites by doing that. It's just one kind of strategy. The next thing is to figure out what you gotta throw in there. probably a, you know, a jig or some sort of soft plastics, and if the fish are suspended up above that brush pile, well, then a jerkbait and an underspin. Maybe a crankbait will play. The water temp is 47 degrees, so it's cold, you know. It's water's cooling off a lot, but it's still really clear, which is good. You want clear water when it's cold. So let's keep on moving. Got a deer over here snorting at me in the woods. You guys are duck hunters, waterfowl hunters. Starting to see some waterfowl flying around. Just kind of wanted to flip some of this wood. I ran down to the other end of the lake, and just to see if they're on some of this shallower wood. Wind's blowing in here. So far, no bites, but part of pre-fishing is eliminating water, and even though you're not getting bites, you're still learning something. It's nice to see the turtles are still out. There's a bite. Oh man, missed it. Look at that bite. Had a bite on the old BFE. Alright, just found this big old nasty looking thing here. I'm gonna put a little waypoint on it. I'm kind of looking for stuff that's out in the 12 to 15 foot zone, because a lot of these shad have been out here in that 17 to 20, 22. So I'm looking for something that these fish, the bass, can sit in and intersect the shad as they swim through. So we're gonna put a waypoint on that. Move my cursor back over. It's looking about right. And we're gonna hit this wood icon. There we go. It's in 17 foot, so that's about what we're looking for. Moving on. Side of crankbait. There we go. Guys don't ever see me catch them on a crankbait, because I don't throw a crankbait a whole lot, but it just looked right. It's a little piece of wood. You see it right in front of me. Little crankbait fish. I'm just still poking around. I was hoping there'd be some shad back in this area, but there's not. So I was just fishing some isolated wood and threw that crankbait, flat-sided crankbait up there. Caught me one. You know, a lot of times pre-fishing is not so much about catching, but it's eliminating water. I've already got an idea of what I want to do, but I'm kind of poking around looking for something different. And you know, if I can get some bites on a shallow square bill, that would be pretty sweet, because it's going to be nasty in the morning, and I think if there's any fish up shallow, they're going to probably stay up shallow. So keep on pounding, see what happens. Look at that, guys. Mr. Bald Eagle. All right, let's take a look at this map and kind of break this lake down into a few sections. This is a small lake. It's about 1,800 acre lake, but I kind of look at it as 4 different small lakes. So we got this section right here. Here's where the Pomona boat ramp is. So basically this area right here is a creek, okay? That's all the way out to about right here. Consider that like the southern arm. I don't know, but this is all kind of one area. And then you've got this long creek. It's got 2 small creeks in the back. I consider this the east arm. So there's 2 sections of the lake. And then you got this midsection. This is a lot of bluffy stuff right in through here. It's a lot deeper. So I consider this kind of the midsection. And then you've got this whole area right here. So you kind of break it down into 4 sections. The 2 sections, these 2 sections and these 2 sections fish completely different. This is a lot deeper water. Clearer typically, got more bluffs and rock. Now this area right in through here has got a lot more grass. You got a lot more secondary points, a lot of grass, and it's gonna be a little bit stained, although right now the water is pretty clear everywhere. But typically this area right in here is gonna get stained if you get some rain. So you get a lot of stain coming in from here, and you get some stain coming in from the back of here, where this doesn't have near the feeder creeks and stuff. So it typically is going to stay a lot clearer. And as far as what I'm looking for, what I'm concentrating on, let's zoom this in real quick. This is a bluff. These are all bluffy areas. So looking for transition spots, deep to shallow in these kind of areas. And then of course, points, you know. These long tapering points are good places to check. You know, we're marking brush. I've got a couple piles marked out here. So I'm looking for these points, you know, kind of main lake stuff. Nothing too far back in these coves right now. I think most of the bait is moved back out of these coves. There's always gonna be fish shallow in some of these coves, but right now I'm concentrating out. But so some of these main lake type points, some of these little secondary type points are places you're gonna go back in some of these creek arms. Let me clear this out again. Come on, baby, work with me. You don't want to pinch. But anyway, you get the idea. So I'm doing a lot of my idling around some of these points. You can see my tracks. Been idling right in here, got some stuff marked. Main lake stuff for the most part. Spent a lot of time back in here, a lot of time back in here. There's a bunch of little secondary points down here. They've all got stuff on them. So yeah, ideally you want to get, if you're going to be running brush piles and stuff, you want to get, you know, 20 of them, 30 of them, and just make a milk run. Some of the better ones you'll actually go back and hit a couple times during the day, and because the conditions are going to change. Sometimes the bait wasn't quite up on there, it just didn't look right, the fish weren't in there, so you got to go back and check these areas multiple times throughout the day, especially if it's a spot you've caught fish out of, you've caught big fish out of. You're going to want to go back and check these out. You know, you got a creek channel swing right here. That's going to be a good spot to check out. Anything that's got these little creek channels that comes in closer to the bank, right in here, that's a good little area to check out, just because of that channel swinging in there close. Now, if you've got the right cover and structure on there, it's going to make it even better, but it's still worth idling through there and graphing and finding those little things. So let's get back on the water, see if we can put something together. This is the first real big bait ball I've seen up in this area. It's large and in charge, just way out off of a point. I'm scanning down this bank because it seems like this other side there's really not anything going on. So this is a more rocky, more bluffy type on this area. So we're gonna go down this and see if we can get some bites.
There we go. Little crankbait fish. Look at that guy. Just cranking this rock. That is a beautiful specimen. Another bite. Okay, that's a good sign. Another bite. He just rolled on it. Just kind of slapped at it. That's what they did on that Pro Blue. There we go. Got that little jerkbait fish. That's right, baby. Come to the boat. Well, I put Old Faithful back on. I've been playing around with that Pro Blue, and I had one slam the Pro Blue, but it didn't hook up. Fishing, there's a lot of bait around here, and I think there's some stripers mixed in. I think I saw some big catfish on the bottom. I drug a tube through them, and you know, no luck. So this area has just got some activity. Still kind of scouting around looking for some new stuff. So this might be one of the spots I put on the list to go try, but you know, it's not going to help us in the tournament. But like I said, there are fish in the area, so it's just a matter of one of those bigger ones pulling up and grabbing this jerkbait. There we go. Hit that jerkbait on the paws, man. Had that sit. Feels like a decent fish. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's a decent fish. Just biting real slow. It was on that little SP78. I downsized. There we go. Fish ate it. You know, I broke off my favorite jerkbait, unfortunately. And I wasn't getting bit. I tried a mega bass. The clown color wasn't getting bit. And just kind of put on this SP78 by Lucky Craft. And I've only thrown it a couple times and got a bite, so that's a good sign. This is the DD, it's a little bit deeper diver. But black back, silver side, white belly. Little red dot on the throat there. I don't know, decent fish. Happy to have him. It's slow out here. Still doing the pre-fishing thing. It's kind of an area that I know the fish get eventually, but there's some here. That's a good sign. Just jumping around, trying to stay positive.
All right, guys, we're still trying to figure all this out. I had to stop and take a sandwich break, but found some more shad. Looks pretty promising. Got a few little dots mixed in there, smaller bass, whatever they are. Like I said, I'm kind of eliminating water. I already know what I'm gonna do if I don't find something else, and I'm staying out of those areas because you don't want to sore mouth your fish. Not that I'm even going to catch a single fish, but I do know some of the areas that I plan on fishing, I'm not going to fish there today. There's a lot of shad out here. I'm trying to get that jerkbait bite going. Drug a jig around, caught a couple on a crankbait. I haven't thrown an underspin. So it's getting ready to rain. Man, these last 3 or 4 trips has been just rain for me, and the wind's really picking up. It's getting cloudy out here, and I'm gonna fish for just a little bit more. I'm gonna have to put the boat on the trailer, get out of here. I don't want to get my boat like super wet before tomorrow, although I'm probably gonna end up driving through it. It's usually what happens. You leave early and you end up driving right through it. But pre-fishing is it's really about eliminating water. You know, you can't get discouraged if you don't get bites. You just kind of got to look at it as those are areas that you've eliminated. It's really that simple. Keep bouncing around. You got to kind of be disciplined to not fish your areas that you think you're going to be fishing, and try to expand and find new stuff.
There we go. It will bite. They just want it really, really slow. I mean really slow. Little guy. It's just gotta really move it slow. The water is 49 degrees. It's been bouncing between 48 and 49. So looks like my pre-fishing has told me that I'm gonna have to downsize my jerkbait. I mean, that's not a big fish. I gotta catch 2 big ones, but I am getting some bites, and I gotta fish really slow. You know, last time I was out here, I was getting away with moving this bait a lot faster, but the water's like anywhere from 47 to 49, and it is definitely slowed down. So it's kind of waiting like 3 to 4 seconds maybe, and they're hitting it on the pause. The last couple of fish I've caught on this jerkbait, it's just been sitting there, and then I go to twitch it and it's heavy. So we shall see. We should see what happens. I've got enough places I got confidence, and I think I've got a few new areas to try. Look at those big old fishies. There we go. See, he's just sitting there. Mark those fish in the graph. There you go. Those are the fish that we just looked at. Nice. Some lot better fish. A lot better fish. All right. There we go. There we go. Ate that sucker just like she was supposed to. I marked these fish on a graph. There's some stripers mixed in there. They're down to about 12 foot. And it's, man, you gotta let it sit now. It's really changed. Just having to let this jerkbait sit. It was just sitting there for probably 5 seconds, and then all of a sudden I felt a little thunk and sucked it in. Nice fish. So we got a plan. We have got a plan. We're going brush piles, all the brush piles that we marked. We're gonna run those, and then we're gonna mix in this jerk bait, and that's probably really about it. I think if we just keep our heads down and just keep working something in the brush, like a jig or something Texas rigged, and this jerk bait, and then that underspin, and probably that little finesse football jig by Cumberland Pro, I think we're gonna get some bites. I'm optimistic. So thanks for coming along on this little pre-practice. I hope I explained how I break things down a little bit. There's lots of different ways to do this, and this is just kind of the way I'm developing things. So appreciate you coming along. Hit that like if you like my content. Subscribe to the channel. Wish me luck. Till next time.